Hi gamers, mums and dads, welcome to Cridler Gaming. Today we are going to explore Spellbreak and tell you a little bit about what we know so far. We've been an alpha tester for a couple of months, so we know the ins and outs of it, and we'll try and pass on as much knowledge as we can. Now when beta comes out, it might have changed a little bit because each patch, and we're on patch 32 at the moment, has meant something different's happened, but we'll quickly go through the lobby and explain. It's quite straightforward really. You start with your breaker. This is your person here. You've got your quests, your daily quests. They're quite new to the alpha testing. You can invite your friends. As you can see, you've got a squad of 1, 2, 3 here, and we're in squad mode down the bottom. If you click match settings, you can see you've got a tutorial, a practice, solo, duos not switched on yet, and squad. And you can also select which server that you're on. It's very similar to Fortnite settings, fill and no fill as well, so you could do solo squad if so desire. Now, I won't go on to the shop for now, but in inventory, you've got your skins, which is your outfit, so you start off with all these groovy skins. Now, whether these will be available when beta starts, you might only start with the default, but say we've got the patchwork skin, bright shade, dust devil, forebear, apprentice, adept, Violet Dreams, I've not used her much, Torch Knight, Sundowner, Hinterland, Initiate, Journeyman, and Silver Rock. Now, I'll pick Journeyman because I am certainly a journeyman. Your artifact here is your backpack, which at the moment there aren't any in the game. There's emotes, there's only 2 at the moment. There is sort of a flex your muscles, etc. So look at me, and there's also a wave. There's also something that is called a triumph, and that's very similar to the apex when you eliminate someone. This is a one-handed wave, which is very similar to the emote. I'm sure there'll be millions more of these when they come out. There's badges, which is empty, so I've not seen any of those. Got 3 cards in here. So Pyromancer, Basic, and Rune card. Whether you can earn them or buy them, I'm not too sure. And in title, I guess the higher level you get, the better title you get, but we're just down as alpha tester at the moment because that's where we are. On to classes, where the game comes into its own really. So you are a breaker, you do magic, you try to eliminate all the other breakers and expel them or exile them from the Hollow Lands. And the main way you do this is with 6 different classes. Now there's been all sorts of classes over the testing. I think there was about 15 at one point, and you used to have a left hand and a right handed class, but at the moment into alpha we're just stuck with 1. So there are 6 at the moment. Whether we'll be able to unlock more or not, we'll see, but we'll quickly go through them. They're quite straightforward really. You've got a sort of a lightning or energy beam here on the left. So with that gauntlet you can sort of fire lightning strikes, and the 3 main things in battling in Spellbreak is the amount of damage you can do, so depending on how rare your gauntlet is. The second thing is the mana, so the mana is how much magic power you've got at the moment. The more magic spells you create, the quicker your mana goes down. And the final thing is cooldown, so if you create a spell, it can take up to 20 seconds sometimes before you can cast the same spell again. So battling is not just about running in and shooting people. You have to actually weigh up your mana, your cooldown, and be quite tactical in the battles. Although at the moment you still go in there and just press all your buttons and hope for the best. So the reason for mentioning that is you can see as the levels go up, and you start off on level 1, when you move into a new circle you upgrade and get into level 2, 3 and 4, and as you upgrade your skills get better. So for lightning, your mana cost comes down the more you go up, and at the end you get 3 strikes if you get to level 4. Then you have the frozen or ice one, or frostborn the actual spell is. You start off and you can leave an ice trail on the floor. When you go into icicle you can hover up in the air, and as you get through to the end you can do more damage with the ice prism. The pyromancer or the fire attack, you're firing bursts from your gauntlets. One thing that is on Spellbreak is you can hurt yourself and you can also hurt your teammates. Now when you see on the fire, when you get to level 2, you have like 1.5 seconds where you don't get any damage if you walk into your own fire, which I tend to eliminate myself more than anybody else at the moment. You've also got a cool one at level 4 is where your fire sort of splits into tiny little fires at the end. The one I've been using the most at the moment is Stone Shaper, and I like this because at the start, if you cast it 4 times, so quick 4 clicks on your left mouse, you get 5 armor each time, so you can start with 20 armor, which I think is quite handy if you land somewhere with a lot of people. As you go up, you fire boulders, and when you get to level 4, your boulder grows absolutely massive, and so can do a lot of damage. Into Tempest, which is more of a wind sort of element. This is all about flying up in the air and getting a good vantage point on people. There isn't actually any head damage that's obvious in Spellbreak. It's just about hitting your opponent, but again, that may change. When you get to level 3 here, you can see the longer you're in the air, the more damage you can make. And finally, the gooey one, Toxicologist. You leave like green puddles all over the place, and by the end you can sort of start casting loads of different splodges. Again, if you walk into it, you hurt yourself, but you can get immune to it when you get to level 2. Now you can actually mix up all your attacks, or if somebody fires a ball of slime, you can set it on fire and things like that to cause even more damage. But they're the general classes at the moment. Let's see if 6 will carry on into beta. We'll see. We've seen all sorts of different ones, but those 6 what's here at the last patch of alpha. Finally on alpha, we've got the leaderboards. It resets all the time on this. We've got a couple of squad wins. If I pop into my squad rank, so if we page down to where we are, you can actually see. We're not in the. We're 122 now. We were in the top 100 for a while with 2 wins. It'll say it'll update again shortly. Guilds doesn't actually work at the top. So that is the lobby. And what we'll do now is we'll go into a quick practice match and we will look at some of the gauntlets. So my thing to practice, I'm choosing the gooey one, the Toxicologist, to start with. Let's see how we go. Now you can equip 2 gauntlets, one on your left hand and one on your right. The one you just saw there, the one that you start with, is your left hand, so we can walk along here and we can get different rarities. So you've got rare, epic, and finally legendary. So if I put F on there, that's the legendary gauntlet. Now that does a lot more damage than the rest. They all do the same sort of spray element like this, but the legendary one does a lot more damage. Now while we've got this on, we can walk along and find a different gauntlet for our other hand. So let's go to fire. Should we give fire a go? So let's take this one here. So we'll pick up this, and now right clicking now gives us a fire element. When you can see the cooldown, it's still not working yet. We've got 22 seconds for it, so it's ready now. So on the right hand side you can see nice big smash, and you can put goo on as well, and you can mix the 2 up. Let's see if we can find a better gauntlet than this one. What have we got here? This is a fire one. So if I want to swap this, I press F, and then I can press right click to swap it with my right gauntlet, so that'll swap it over. So now when the cooldown is finished, again we've got 10 seconds to wait, and this is imperative in battle. You've got to watch your cooldowns, or else you just end up with just clicking your mouse, then you run out of mana, and then you've got nothing left at all. So if we have a go with the fire, so there's a fire there, and we can also do the goo with the gauntlet, all sorts of stuff. So that's the Q and E, which is the fire and the gauntlet, and then you can spray goo, put the fire out, and then you can set the goo on fire, and all sorts of stuff it combines. Now there are 4 other things other than your gauntlet that you need to look out for. So the first one is like a belt, so it's a common belt which gives you more armour. If we go up into the legendaries, that's what everyone wants to be at. The legendary belt of the Berserker and the legendary belt of the Behemoth. One gives you a maximum armour of 70 more. Again, these might change, but that's what it is at the moment, with damage resistance and rune charges. And this one gives you a better cooldown speed, so we can select this one here while we're on fire. The other 2 things to look out for, other than the belt, is an amulet and a shoe. So we'll go over here and have a look for an amulet. We'll take the legendary one here. So as you can see, if I pick this up and just look at this, you've got more spell damage, cast damage, maximum mana. So again, these are sort of helpers on your way so that you can just be better in battle. If you go to boots, this is mainly about speed, so you can run faster. So run speed +6 on this one here. You also go invisible. This is run 6 with mana cost as well, so we can equip this one here. So we're going to get a pretty cool setup. I'm going to walk through there. I do damage, you can see, look. This is my problem with the game at the moment. I hurt myself all the time. So we're down to 57 now. Even lower, I'm on fire. And the last thing to talk about is the rune, which are these triangle shapes. They've got different ones here. So let's take the dash one. Again, you've got to wait for the cooldown. You need to press shift when it's ready. And if I press dash, you can see I just zoom forward a little bit. Then you have to wait a few more seconds and I zoom forward again. There's plenty to play with. You can leap up in the air on this one. If I hold F down here, I can swap it with my rune. If I press tab as well, I've picked it up, so I can just drag and drop from there to see my rune. If I press shift now, I'll go up into the air. So lots of things here to help you with the battle. So on the right hand side, you can see you've got your left and right gauntlet. In the middle is the rune. You've got 4 inventory slots for armour, extra gauntlets and stuff to use later on. And you've got your belt, your amulet and your boots at the top. So this is us kitted out, and all of his left now really is to battle. So you need to find someone and come and go and get them. Now you might see a small bar appear when I hit space, so when I'm jumping you can see you can actually fly quite a long way until your mana runs out. When you're casting, you can see your mana comes down a little bit. Eventually, look, I can't do it anymore. Different spells have different mana, different spells have different damage. Jumping and firing at the same time is a good quick way to remove you of your mana, but it does come up quite quickly. As you can see in the top left hand corner, which we've seen so much, Cridler Gaming eliminated Cridler Gaming, or exiled at least. So this is a bit of gameplay. I'm going to go into a game now and see how we get on. Be interested to see how well this takes off. According to my notes, it is out on the 9th of October. Of course, with big games like this, that can change. It's only on PC at the moment, which to me, who plays a lot more on Xbox and phone, is a little bit different. I have to get used to the keys every time, but it's all good fun. And we'll run down the clock and we'll have a game. You might have seen in a video based on basic gameplay. We had a quick game, we actually ended up winning, even though I was doing a tutorial at the time. And I just had some good squad mates. There's actually quite a lot of people playing at the moment, 14. Usually get about 8 or 9, which is probably why I came straight into a game. You can see the 14 in the top right hand corner along with the map, so if you press M you'll see the full map. So we're starting. To start, you find a place where you want to go, so we could go here, so in this squad here, or our teammates are going up here. We've got 2 sort of circles to go for here. Could even try and get to this one in the top right hand corner. Again, you've got a storm that's coming in, or whatever it's going to be called. The storm actually has an advantage here, that the smaller the circle, the more powers that you get, as we saw at the beginning. And everyone's heading down to this bit here. We might as well just have a go and just try and wipe each other out. Problem is, you've only got 1 gauntlet to start with. So there's a legendary chest here. So usually there's a lot of people around here. We'll see. Try and activate it. We've got 20 seconds. So we'll activate it in 20 seconds time. It gets smaller and smaller. I'll just hide down here for a bit, see if there's anyone else about. They're just waiting for me to go and grab it. Look, here we go. I think what what better tactics than I've just used here is to go and grab a poorer gauntlet, then go and get the legendary one afterwards, because I had no attack there at all. And this chap took me out. You can see what they were using. You can see they got full inventory pretty much, and I had got nothing. But we did some damage. I'm not sure how I came 5th. I'm the 5th squad. 85 seconds, 6 XP. That's pretty terrible, really. But we were just having a quick game to see how it goes. You can see that you've got your XR score 0, no assist, damage score 3, so that's about 30, and then 6 XP. So we've got 9 XP altogether, which isn't very good, really. So I hope you felt that useful. This is the lobby we've explained, and the gauntlets and the runes, etc. We'll do a lot more videos when the game's out in beta, especially if anything's changed. We'll let you know. Unfortunately, there's not enough people on at the moment to actually have a good game with it. But we'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye. What does it say? Bye.